The first time Kyra said like mama, like basically she's an amama to her Kyra. So when she called her that, so my mother was like out of mother. There were like tears coming out of joy for her. So Kyra, she was born in like 2019 March. Okay, so when she was born and all, she was like a very normal child, and so so everything happened like how it should have happened, like to any other normal baby or something. So we traveled to Mumbai when she was like 10 months old, and while flying down from Mumbai to Chennai, so that was the time, the first time she had the episode of seizures. So when we landed at the airport, we didn't know because probably she was sweating a lot and all. So we didn't know it was actual seizures. So it fits. So we came home and then I contacted my friends who were like doctors and all. So my friend, she suggested like I go and check with Dr. at that time. See, he was my senior, so basically. So I met him and then he said like I captured a video and then sent him, and then he said like we'll have to run through a couple of tests. So we went through like EEGs and all CT scans, MRI, blood test, and everything. So he said after he got the report, he said, okay, this is a condition which is called as West syndrome. So it has typical characteristics. So we found out from the EEG. So it was having like hips arrhythmic waves and all. So he said it's West syndrome, but the cause of having this particular syndrome was not definitive. So he said it is idiopathic because cause was not found. So that's when we started administering, first it was basically steroids for a couple of weeks because she had like 60 to 65 episodes of fits every day. So so then we had to give her steroids. So within 2 weeks it was reduced, and then after a month she was all fit free. So this was her condition when she was around from 10 months to 1 year old. So by 1 year she was all like completely fit free, but still we had to go on with the sodium valproate. So she's still taking those doses according to her weight. So so after 1 month, I mean 1 year, we came to know like that was a time when uh, like we found out there are some development delays because of this seizures. So she was not able to walk at that time. She was not able to identify people. In fact, even myself, she never used to have this eye contact and all. So like many things. So she never used to. She used to just sit around the bed and that's it. We started off with physio and physiotherapy, occupational and speech therapy. So it took a year actually for her to get up and walk. So that was one thing. But after 2 years, like when she was 2 years old, we had this COVID stuff, right? So I couldn't visit the hospital because this happened in hospital only. So at that time, thankfully, I had a special trainer. Like it was one of through my friends. So she had to come home and she trained Kyra from there. And then it was all like, see, normally one thing is she should be fit free. The other thing is we have to give her therapy so that her developmental delays are are not yet okay. She becomes normal basically according to her age. So we tried different things, and still I was not very happy with the improvement and all. So although she can walk and all, but then her sensory were very down. Her motor, sensory motor, what do you say? Yeah, that stuff was not good. So that time someone suggested like actually my the pediatrician whom I consulted. So he suggested like there is something called as a tomatis therapy here in Auroville. So that's how I got in touch with Auroville Tomatis. So I dropped an email. I was actually eagerly waiting for the reply and response. So thankfully Meeta had responded, and I came, and okay, that's how it started here. So basically, this is our second block and third cycle. So Kyra, initially when we came here, as I told you, like she can walk, but there is nothing else other than that. So she never used to respond for her name calling and all those things, and she never had that much of an eye contact with people. So no socializing, nothing like that. So then we started here in Auroville, I mean Tomatis therapy. So we could see a lot of difference in our first cycle itself. In a first cycle itself, she started looking at us, very prominently. She can give an eye contact, and that is when we realized, okay, this is working. Basically, this program is working. So all of us were so excited to continue with that. So after that, there were like many things, like after every cycle. So there were like a lot of improvements which we can see, and starting from the eye contact, from the name calling, and then gradually she started climbing the stairs. Although it is like holding one hand, but then ultimately she can do that also. And after that, she can eat. Basically, she can pick up her food and eat now. Then she started scribbling after that. So there were like stages where like right now she's going to a play school, and she's interacting with the kids. So that's like a tremendous improvement from what I have seen before coming to Tomatis, and after doing the 2 blocks, basically within 2 blocks. So ideally, I think there are like 6 blocks. I'm not sure about that. So, but this is a very good improvement for us. And also, not only these kind of motor skills and all, but her emotional level has also improved. So initially, she used to be like, she used to throw tantrums like for everything. She used to throw things and all. Now she's like quite calm and patient, and she listens to what we are saying. She processes whatever we say, and then she listens to that accordingly. And the other thing is, she has started showing her emotions. Like initially, like even if someone cries or even I cry or all, she never used to bother about that. But now when I cry, when my mother cries, when her father cries, so she gets very emotional, and she herself cries because of that. So that is another emotional thing which we have seen. And she has started missing people. Like for example, my husband stays in Bangalore, so he comes down every weekend here. So during the week, so she misses, and she takes the phone, and she wants to have a video call and all with him. So these kind of things are, basically you can say like only her speech hasn't come now, but every other activity she's doing, like even with the kids and all. So there are like many activities, like even the school is giving like a normal school which gives, like she's in pre-KG, so she's doing all those activities and stuff. And now, yeah, all of us are very happy with this. So so first of all, every parent should be aware of what the condition their child is going through. So in my case, it was like everybody said, okay, she's diagnosed with West syndrome, probably she can get something else and like that. But then it was like everything is in your mind, like how much success, like what is the definition of success, what you want to keep for yourself. For me, every step, like okay, whenever I took Kyra to Tomatis therapy, like whenever I see some kind of change, so that was a success for me for that day, or you can say for that cycle. So that is how you reach step by step, because I've seen many parents who are like very vexed and very stressed out with their life, because they want, like, okay, they go to a therapy and immediately they want their daughter to be, or daughter or son to be talking and doing this, doing that, going to school and stuff like that. So for me, that kind of mindset was not there from start. So I want my baby to be healthy, as well as lead a normal independent life. That's all was my mindset, and even my family had supported. and everybody accepted the fact that, you know, Kyra should be very healthy and she should be very independent, like even in the future. So there are no much expectations for us, like apart from this thing. So that was, you know, that is the only advice which I want to give everybody, because for me it's like I'm cracking some joke to my daughter and she's smiling, right? That is a success for me. So that is the result which I got after coming to Tomatoes. So I would really suggest anybody who is coming to Tomatoes to have this kind of mindset, and then come here. So, you know, even the smallest thing will be a big success to you. And I've seen like tremendous success coming to this program. You know, it's changed a lot, both my daughter's life as well as our life together. So. To be very honest, so I'm a working woman, so I'm a full-time working mother. So I didn't take even you know, the maternity leave because I'm too much into engrossed into my work. Okay, so initially, you know, I was very stressed out. You know, okay, how to handle a baby and all. So I was like that, and on top of that, you know, Kyra had this kind of condition. So I was like completely lost. But then, to be very honest, I was really stressed out till I came to Tomatoes. Okay, so before that, as every other parent who has this kind of you know, situation and stuff, so I was also very stressed out. But after coming here, you know, talking with Meeta, and you know, looking at other the kind of, you know, the kind of changes which I can see in Kyra, so that has changed me. So I've become more responsible, and I myself have become very calm, you know. So initially I never used to have this work life balance and all, but now I'm able to plan my life on a daily basis. So, you know, even the music therapy here, like we get to listen, right? So those things have, you know, made me a very calm and you know, a stable person, you can say. The only thing here is, for me, I was able to come here because I came to know through some of my friends, because they were in this particular field, and you know, I mean, in the medical field. So there are many people who are not aware of, you know, the Tomatoes, and you know, because there are many people around our country itself who say, like, you know, this is a music therapy and this is what is some therapy and all, with the sounds and all. So people you know, they mistake it as, you know, that is Tomatoes, and they go to those kind of centers, and they are not aware of, okay, what is the authentic Tomatoes therapy. So I feel that the awareness is very less among people here. So if that was there, you know, there'll be a lot of kids who can benefit out of this particular program. So that is one thing which I want to say.